One of the names that's come up often in Los Angeles Lakers circles is Kyle Kuzma. He just got a contract last offseason. And I don't know where the Lakers stand on him. If I'm reading the room correctly, you believe that if the Lakers can bring in a point guard that's better than what they had last year in Dennis Schroeder, they're willing to attach Kyle Kuzma to a trade. I mean, Kyle Kuzma is pretty much the only tradable asset in double-digit salary, not named LeBron James and Anthony Davis, you got. So he, by default, would have to get traded. But obviously, I think the thing that people are overlooking here is that the Lakers are giving up on Kyle Kuzma if they decide to do so. People are so enamored with the idea of Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook or whoever the Lakers decide to bring in, they're forgetting like, yo, that would mean the end of a guy that you just re-signed last year in Kyle Kuzma. I read a statement from a gentleman. I did not listen to this episode of this podcast, so forgive me if I don't have the context. Smart guy by the name of Eric Prinkis. He is a part of a Lakers podcast. It's called Lakers Side Chat Podcast. I want to read to you what this guy said about who Kyle Kuzma thinks he is, all right? Eric said, I think that Kyle Kuzma perceives himself as someone like Jayson Tatum. I think that's how he views himself, and that's great. You should view yourself as one of the best young players in the league. So people are asking me, yo, what do you think about this? Do you look at Kyle Kuzma as a guy in another situation? Could he be a Jayson Tatum? Well, first off, the jury is still out on the ceiling for Jayson Tatum, right? Because, like, I got to be real with you. As great as I thought Jayson Tatum was offensively this year, his Boston Celtics team regressed. To this point, Tatum hasn't shown me that he can win with the best in the Eastern Conference, get to a finals as a catalyst of your team. I obviously know a couple years ago that young Celtics team did go 7 games with LeBron in Cleveland, and I want to keep that in mind. But since then, it kind of felt like Boston has kind of backpedaled a little bit. Offensively, they've been great, but I have not seen Jayson Tatum take the next step defensively. So I just want to put that in proper context. What does it mean to be Jayson Tatum? Well, first off, Kyle Kuzma's footwork is nowhere near Tatum's. Nowhere near. His package overall ain't nowhere near Tatum's. When you look at Jayson Tatum, he feels like an elite scorer. He feels like a top 10 scorer today in the league, right? Like, no ifs, ands, buts about it. I don't think Kyle Kuzma is there. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you how forgetful Kyle Kuzma has become for most of Laker Nation. When Lonzo Ball was a Laker, it used to frustrate me how much he passed the basketball. But at least Lonzo was on my mind, right? I knew Lonzo needed to go somewhere else to flourish. He couldn't do it with LeBron. Lonzo just needed to grow up. When I look at Anthony Davis, I'm like, yo, take more shots. Take better care of your body, right? Like, he's on my mind. LeBron's obviously on my mind. He's one of the greatest players ever. Montrezl Harrell is on my mind with the Lakers. I'm thinking, can he give me 10 points, 12 points off the bench? Other guys are on my mind. I'm thinking about the production that I could get from a Dennis Schroeder, Andre Drummond, night in, night out. Kyle Kuzma has kind of fell in the back burner. I'm indifferent on him. If Kuzma goes out and gives me 22 points in any random game, great. If he gives me 2 points, I don't care. Kyle Kuzma has become indifferent as a Laker, and that's an awful place to be. And I know he's making good money now. He's playing in L.A. He gets to be a public figure, whatever. He needs to watch out, though, because if you perceive yourself to be Jayson Tatum, if you think you're that caliber of guy, I don't think that, but if you think that, you might be better suited getting away from LeBron James and Anthony Davis while they're in championship mode and going to a team that has lower expectations but allows you to flourish. Because I guarantee you, coming out of this Lakers championship window that they're in right now, if Kyle Kuzma remains in the role that he is right now, there won't be another contract for him, and his value will be at an all-time low. So if he thinks he is Jayson Tatum, which I disagree with, he needs to go somewhere else because he won't ever be perceived that way by the masses as long as he's playing fifth, sixth fiddle to Los Angeles.